Murphy with the shot. It's high. It's gone for a goal. Barry Murphy must score. Yes, he does. What a disaster for Kerry.
Barry Murphy has got a string to that one. He has.
Nuair a dearn tú JBM nó Jimmy Barry tá sa gur Jimmy Barry bháin atá ann agus tá aithne ag gach den air.
Bhí faois fuaile ag roiid a bhí sin an daoine ag Gael amach ar dhéis nó ar clé.
Jimmy Barry gets it into his hand and he's away and a pass to Charlie McCarthy.
Balance, acceleration, touch, skill. Straight away you could see that it was a bit of an aura about Jimmy, you know.
Domino gur raibh tú bhar cáilte trínáilí be tin Jenny, because bhí go mé feidh gimar go má and then bang.
And a shot from Jimmy Barry. This is Jimmy Barry. He's side-footing it in.
Jimmy Barry Murphy. He's on the 21. He takes a shot. There's the goal.
When he came onto the pitch with Cork, you got the feeling of excitement that that you were watching something special.
Here he is, the young man with the goal-scoring touch.
My grandfather and his brothers all played with Cork in finals from 1915 onwards. My granduncle Denny captained Cork in the late 20s to win All-Ireland and won 4 All-Ireland senior titles around that time. And his brother John won All-Ireland in 1919, so going back to the early part of the century, I suppose there was a big family involvement with Cork teams. I was born into a house where hurling football was a religion. I never did anything else as a young fella.
Agus níor bhada gur chomhlíonn se rúchas. A grúchaint craobhacha minúd ile éireann san amáin tinnaí ag 16 híon agus a bell an bhliain dar gíon.
I enjoyed both games equally, I'd have to say. Hand in my heart, I couldn't honestly say whether I preferred hurling and football at that stage. I loved playing both games.
Ach bol na pelladóí chuis a dosach an ag 63. Agus héis chob léas a húirt go chéirí a glufa canis na mún, chroisiad clufa leachanis na héireann in na híróin.
Lovely dropping ball and it is. No, it's not in. Jimmy Barry Murphy. There he is. The young man with a great name. Another pass coming up to Jimmy Barry Murphy. Jimmy-ish. No, he's a shot this time. Another goal.
An táim sin níor chuig marrán daoine isteach ó bheith gimmart minúr díreach isteach daoine ar an sínsir.
I suppose at that age, you're young and you're confident and you don't see the pitfalls of the big occasions lying before you, maybe.
Agus dealó caidní smó ag líam líana dé guis na clufa canis sínsir pelle na héireann, Corca in nain na Gaillimhe.
Everything set now for the start of the game. Looking at his watch and there
In the final against Galway, I didn't feel in any way in awe of the occasion, and I often look back at it in later years when I was playing in finals and found it hard to understand how I was so relaxed.
One thing he was not fazed by occasions or by names or by anything like that. He had a quite confidence in his own ability and went about his business.
the tail on it to the left, but it's going to be kept in play. It's hitting up front. It's a goal. It's a goal. And Jimmy Barry Murphy. Jimmy Barry Murphy.
Having got the goal early on in the game, I was quite settled into the game very early on.
DJ Gilmore not getting to that one, but Jimmy Barry Murphy has it. Jimmy Barry outside.
An rud faoi JB in áir an ára gur críoch nóúnta go bheith gcónaí, I mean, sin an rud nuair a fór sé seans don chud is mó the críochnig sé.
And Jimmy Barrett, Jimmy who seems to be everywhere. Let's see the centre for Ray Cummins. Ray Cummins down, up and on the wing to Jimmy Barry Murphy. Jimmy Barry on the 14. What's he going to do? A goal! Here he is, the young man with the goal-scoring touch.
If I got a pound for every time a fella said to me, what's he going to do?
Jimmy Barry on the 14. What's he going to do? A goal!
Sin fémór bhí ag Jimmy Darno, an spotta sin a fiúcha amach, as bhí sé ige dá héalar fad.
Agus an pleasure agam inis, an curtain seo bhanu our captain Corky Billy Morgan.
An bhliain dar gíon bhfuil siad céirí ríist a gán gon bhfuilean áirithe sin.
Still Ray Cummins. To Jimmy Barry Murphy, and Jimmy Barry Murphy has picked up a quick point. 20-year-old. Last year he was the youngest man in the All-Ireland final.
The big gap from winning in 1945 to 1973 had a toll on the team as a whole because the team wasn't a very, very young team.
Ráníomha ar a bhainean ómánaíochta I dosach an 1972 agus iad le líneach I gluifií ceannis na mún.
Number 10, his name is Jimmy Barry Murphy.
You could see that he was just a special player, and the coolness, I suppose, he brought to the whole thing. You know, he seemed to be always in command, always never flustered. Just a real sense of he was where he was meant to be, sort of.
Jimmy Barry Murphy coming away on the 14, a shot and a goal. Willie told Barry Murphy. Barry, 25 yards out.
Háil siad an aine Gaillimhe a gluifií leathcheannis na héireann agus ceapú ránóirí nó in 1976.
One of the people obviously brought into the setup at that time was Christy Ring. I hadn't seen him at his best, but I'd seen him playing fabulous games for Glen Rovers towards the end of his career, so I was aware of his presence and the aura about him, I would say. And because of who he was, he had a huge impact on me, certainly, and I think if we ask other players around, they'll tell you the same.
Agus in 1976, Roshiad gluifií ceannis na héireann in Laochra.
Referee Paddy Johnson getting ready for the throw in and the game is on.
An ná sin de bhí Michael Jacob Masson gimmert mar lár cúlí istócha agus de bhí bhí antúnachar aige ar an gluthe.
And Mick Jacob, how he catches that ball, I do not know. But
I was probably a spectator for about 65 minutes of the game. I wasn't playing particularly well.
Jimmy Barry Murphy.
Bheith fárá I gcónaí nach muint fád Jimmy Barry den bach riamh.
About 10 minutes to go, luckily enough that the Cork sideline mentors made a switch and put me in centre half forward.
Jimmy Barry Murphy breaking away now. He's coming to the 21-yard line. He takes the shot on the side. They're narrow. And they don't give Jimmy Barry a chance like that. Jimmy Barry Murphy again. And Jimmy Barry with the lead. Out comes Ray Cummins to Jimmy Barry Murphy. Jimmy Barry Murphy is through shot and it's gone over the bar for a point. And it certainly was a titanic game. A game full of thrills and of excitement and of flying hurdles.
In 1976, bhí na fórne céanna sa gluifií ceannis gon darna bliain as a chéile.
As far as he would like by these medals, this is Jimmy Barry Murphy. High and the lead for Cork by Jimmy Barry Murphy. The game is over and Cork have won their 23rd All-Ireland title. Oh dear.
Bhín darna críomh as a chéile grú Jacob, ach a míúil 1978 ag leathama gluifií ceannis na mún in Aithláil, a chosúil gomach déide le hub. Iad díadach rá chólín chun tusa héis immert le cór láidir gúiche.
My abiding memory of leaving the field at half-time was the Clare supporters absolutely euphoric.
So perhaps they'll rise to the occasion in the second.
Just as we were about to leave, head back out in the field, Christy Ring took centre stage and grabbed a hurley, and to me certainly it was one of the most inspiring speeches I ever heard in the dressing room by any mentor.
Cork make a change at midfield. They bring out Pat Moylan to partner Tom Cashman. Ray Cummins to Tim Crowley. Tim Crowley so involved in the last few minutes. And that's a very good point by Tim Crowley. Cork still trying to open up the play as Ray Cummins picks off a glorious point. And there it is. John Maloney blows the full-time whistle as Cork win their 36th Munster title.
Dag sé sin iad sa gluifií ceannis gon tríú bliain, agus in an aidh an Tom seo céil chuine.
That's a nice pass by Tom Cashman to Jimmy Barry Murphy. Dick O'Hara trying to block his way. Jimmy Barry shot right across. It's over the bar. This is Brian Cody.
Is beg bhí etrúb go aimse Jimmy scór as an gná, ach ceanna bhí har sa darna le.
I suppose looking back at that goal, it was I have to laugh sometimes when I see it now.
Long ball in towards the goal. Hands going out to him. Jimmy Barry
it was a terrible goal, and nothing I can't take any great credit for.
Rasper bhí ón an éidir seach go hocht. I'd say mar nóil céim because mar cool bar rúnta go bathe, but bhí sé ag súil le thunderbolt beidir agus fuair sé is diddler agus chuig sé isteach ar a cosa, but you know, I mean, fine tú trí faointe agus fine tú an sais buile sicóíochta, you know, agus sin an key moment, you know, seach go hocht.
Má bhí ráile corcus an amhaint sa tréimhse sin a bhálairt a bhain leis na pelledóirí.
And Cork are far behind Kerry on the provincial championship roll of honour. They haven't won the Munster title.
Playing football with Cork from 75 to 1980. It was a very tough time because we felt desperately unlucky.
Agus brisú grúthar fád san ehimirt go chlufií ceannis na mún in 19 in 1976.
Massin go raibh Cork go bailte, hí sa barca chuig an lá sin.
Quickly taken to Sean Walsh, and it's all taken off the line. Oh, it's over the line. The umpire is sitting the flag. It's a goal. Yes, it's a goal. Sean Murphy. It's a goal. Sean Murphy. John Maloney running in to consult the two umpires. Wants to know what happened.
Bhí mé díreach as tír den cúil in fór Declan Barnum cúil sin agus, you know, bhí sé lesbod in ceanol.
Is toch a gá cine a chuig I gcuine Corcaig an difríocht a bhíad na fórne.
You know, that was a 6-point turnaround in a game against a team like Kerry, who were a phenomenal team, and we were bursting at gut to get to the level they were at. And, you know, those crucial decisions certainly, I would say, had a huge impact on Cork football for a number of years after that.
Jimmy was getting fairly rough treatment on the field in football.
So bhí sé stracha agus stracha.
By Jimmy Dean. Still Jimmy Barry, Murphy then pulled down. And Jimmy Barry being caught in the sandwich between Jack Carr and Jimmy Dean. And he gets a push in the back from Jimmy Barry Murphy. And he's being followed all over the field by Mick Spillane, being fouled this time by Mick.
You know, that's the nature of inter-county football and hurling. You target certain players and you put specific players on certain players to mark them, and they do the job that's required.
And he was beginning to fall out of love with football a bit, and I wouldn't blame him at the time.
For me as a player, trying to play both games, it was becoming dispiriting.
Héis go chéirí iad Laochra glufií ceannis na mún in 1980, bhearta Jimmy go neireachta as an bell idir chundé.
On that night, I remember saying to Billy Morgan, I didn't think I could go on playing both games anymore, and that I was going to concentrate on hurling. You know, I felt I was getting tired from it. The edge had gone off me, I felt, from both games. I wasn't playing as well as I'd liked.
Beidir go bh rás rit aige, right, go mín bhí sé dréis féige mar peile agus amháin leis na blianta fada.
If I thought the Cork footballers were going to go on and win 2 or 3 All-Irelands in the next 2 or 3 years, would I have made the same call? I suppose I don't think I would, to be honest. I mean, you have to be perfectly honest and say that hurling looked to be a better prospect going forward.
Bhí sé réile leis an bell ach bheith neart duile le feiceal mhaith an amhaint.
How to Train Your Dragon 2 is now at McDonald's. Dragons love milk. Hiccup and Toothless always drink it before going on their adventures.
Toothless, get your own milk.
Milk is high in calcium, which helps your bones develop. Why not start your adventures with milk and enjoy How to Train Your Dragon 2 now at McDonald's? Yeah! Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal.
Protecting your children in this crazy world isn't always easy, but thanks to Leia Healthcare, it just got a little bit easier. With our Essential Connect family scheme, new and existing members can get 50% off their children's health insurance. With family savings like that, it's no wonder we're Ireland's second largest healthcare insurance provider. Call today or go online and save 50%. Leia Healthcare, looking after you always.
For the kitchen sink and all the pets, last minuters and we're all sets. For the waving guy, the small fry, the losers and the Wi-Fi users. For head and the bookers, the latest lookers, the brokers, jokers and, I'm sure I know that blokers. For the nearly there's and just can't waits. For all those lovers or just good mates.
Right now, the kids go free. Book now with Irish Ferries at irishferries.com.
Daide Jimmy Barry Murphy as an bell idir chundé le corca in 1980 ach lean se leis an amint agus an 1980 dó agus mar chaiptín chrá corca cluffi canis na héireann.
You know, I had always wanted to captain the Cork team if we could win All Ireland.
Ach ní raibh rudí mach go Jimmy ná go chorcar in lá.
I would say the captaincy got me certainly in the final in 82. I had a particularly poor game.
Níl to go on an captain to but massam go say system failure foot in the park agus beidir an líne an lá sin come out.
Droch láhó. Ach a bhblionn dar gíon scóráilte an cóil ómána is fearr i ddíobh i réna telefíse in aina gaiileh ag gluifi le cheannis na héireann.
These goals, I must say that I've never attached that much significance to these things, and I'm not just saying that. I never really saw as much of fuss about it as other people. I suppose because of the nature of it, Micheál O'Hare's commentary again, it became more significant maybe than what it was at the time.
About 22 minutes gone in the second half.
Dermot McCurtain won the ball and gave a hand pass to John Fenton.
You know, vi Fenton go húnta chun líróí a bhúla stacht like sais levéil an levéil céine, right? Agus vi Jimmy beganning to fear the Conor Hayes.
And I remember saying to myself, oh, I'm going to be, you know, I'm in trouble here, I'm behind him. So I didn't have a lot of options, so I managed just to get almost alongside Conor, and as I say, I wasn't in a position to try and catch the ball, so what I did was I let flying the ball in the air.
John Fenton. Oh, the greatest goals of all time. This is one you're going to see in slow motion, but the slow motion won't even slow it down. And that ball came. Here it is now. Out to the centre field, Dermot McCurtain. Over to John Fenton. And watch Jimmy Barry Murphy stick as he sends this one to the net. In it goes. Look at the speed of the ball, but watch the speed it takes on now.
Just so natural, and that was one of those instinctive things that ball ended up in the back of the net from just, I suppose, if you like, a flick of the wrist almost. He was a player who could change games. He was a player who could do something in the twinkling of an eye that would really, really hurt a team.
It wasn't really any magnificent score or stroke of genius by me. It was something I just did in the course of the game many times, but on that occasion it came off.
Cinnte an cúil sin an áit sa gluifi canis agus deis díaltais in aina gat.
We obviously better prepared because of the nature of the defeat the year before, but on the day I think we played well enough without being good enough to win.
45 metres out, he sees John Fenton over in the centre. Passes one, John takes his shot, and he sent it.
Massam in an dála just an cool sa dála lag or vision sais an ceann cinúnach.
Into Harry Ryan trying to get through, and a shot.
Vi gachrod búteag Jimmy. Craobh éireann, péalagus a máint, grad a máil star, san dá chód. Vi gachrod búteige, ach dul suas ardánaí gáin mar chaptéin Corcaigh.
Níor a ardúin chorann an ándó, ach an 1984 bliain an chéad, chrá Corcan chluifi canis i ríist, in Aivali is Dutch simple agus siad faoihrú.
25th All-Ireland title this afternoon.
Ní has tíno éondro trí cín cailúnt as.
Oswald Cahy, Pat Fleury, and there's a nice pass in now. Jimmy Barry Murphy to shot in it. It's a goal! And Jimmy Barry Murphy to shot in Erie. The old fair were back in June. This is Kevin Hennessy. Hennessy going right through. Back out now to Jimmy Barry Murphy. Jimmy along the ground. Goal!
We had a very, very strong all-round team that year. We got goals at vital stages.
They're All-Ireland champions, 1984, centenary year.
Massam go frí se bhar gach éan duna go raibh go raibh an ceann sin búta go.
Proud as could be, and rightly so. They've broken back.
Haríon chlufiile tá críomhnaí leithéigh Jimmy ar a hospantas go chorca na Hebradáin I glufiigh Canis na Mún 1982.
I just felt it was probably the best game I ever played for Cork. I don't know why I say that, because I played over a good number of years. I played a lot of bad games, plenty of them. But I just felt that day that everything went well for me.
Here's the shot. Half blocked down by Jack Bergen again, but trying to get it forward. Here's John Sheedy. It's another goal. A disastrous goal for the goalkeeper. Tom Cashman. Towards Jimmy Barry Murphy, but it's stopped in there. It's Jimmy Barry who's got it. And it's a point. He can always produce a good score.
Towards the end of the game, there was a clash ball out by the side, and I managed to win the ball over there and scored a point from near the sideline. And to me, it was just, something special about the score. The crowd lifted behind the goal. I think it was kind of the insurance point at that stage.
And here he is. Jimmy Barry's shot. It's a marvellous point. He can always do it. He salutes the crowd. He knows now that Cork.
An bhliain na dhiaidh sin bhí Corc go éis a glufiigh Canis na Héireann, agus rinne Jimmy cinne an mhór an teachtain ra bhraí.
What a fantastic sight it is. The climax to the hurling year. Very much a national occasion.
I remember the week before the game suddenly deciding that, win or lose, this was it, that I was going to call it a day.
Real determined shoulder from Ger Fitzgerald. Not such a good strike, however, it might come to some use. Jimmy Barry Murphy, 20 seconds left. Cork will want to keep possession or go for points. Jimmy Barry, can he finish with a flourish? Yes! He punched there with delight, puts 4 points between the teams.
In your heart and soul, it's time maybe to call it a day, and I really felt that that was it that day, and lucky enough for me, we went out on a winning note.
It is! Cork have won the All-Ireland, champions for the 26th time.
Bhí an lán immerthe, agus is tócha gur ceap sé go raibh rudaí eile sa tail cosúla Madrí.
Ach níor chuine na Gael ach seala. Thosa sé bhaine stíocht agus ceapú Ganas ar Chorca in 1996.
An rud faoi Jimmy a gcónaí bhíosaige calbhí ag tastáil. An sa mánaí ag do bhí ag tastáil, tapig agus sa scuilte, but go raibh sé cílfar.
Well, I knew straight away that he was going to have the respect of all the players and that he was going to have the backing of the whole county, and that's something important. I mean, if you don't have the respect of all the players, you're on a hiding to nothing, and it was a guarantee with him.
An sin bhí printíiseacht chróige agus chuir sé fuidan nó fíoróg chun páisce I gréibh na Mún 1999.
Thóg ar seans le ar an úr óg nua agus just chuig an blian ó neart go neart.
I thought we had a great chance if we got to Croke Park that team would take off, and it was a major bonus that we won the Munster final against Clare, who were the benchmark at that time.
Leis an mua sin agus ceannaí bhailí bhí Corca ag glufiigh Canis na Héireann den géadúir leis 7 mbliana.
He'll doubt him if we have to and daughter in his source it's here and guidance to the Gael job.
When we got to Croke Park and went out on the pitch for the puck around and the parade, it absolutely bucketed down.
Ben Laochra, paid it for the mowing Ben. After she seen the ball, draw hole, Fosig Ben, it draw, shows the 14. On T and shows the 14. Agus Tasha could have had a cross now again. Agus should now look on her. Achbults across the Shani McGrath, Bosch again. The horse, the Holland. Takama. Jensen is bigger and Ben Laochra. Corca Jorge Tasso. Agus Tasha Dieltega. Corca Jorge Tasso. And Ken scored and Tasso Bosch Ben Laochra.
He got what he wanted to get, obviously, in 1999, unfortunately at our expense.
Is críanam dul sios leis an irin agus Jimmy agus ag béigh a macadíon slú agus sin haspáin sé sin cé go tácht agus bhí an bua sin dó. Bhí sé go hálaí éáil.
Coaching the team in 1999 was the greatest day of my career, certainly. I got more satisfaction out of that day than anything else in my whole career.
I bet if you ask any of those players, they'd probably have died for him.
Will creed the head and Ash Cusley.
Over na blian na gáhíl sa híineag, éon bblion déag héis choéirí as bhainisteach beidir chundé. Til Jimmy gan chunne cheannasich na homána Cusley.
Far Kielver a sé tugann sé imróí agus tugann sé corcaigh agus gan dótar be meam gur duine ceart an ceart.
Ní licuh sé anam dul isteach mar bhainisteoir munar ceap sé gur míanaach na ledóga ceapan sé go bhfuil ní réon dóta gom faoi sin.
Jimmy Barry Murphy, hurler and footballer.
His sheer movement, his grace, his elegance on the pitch, in both codes was something wonderful.
Fiúháin leis na daoine nach facha é is léach fósa.
He's naturally likeable, very likeable fella.
I don't have any regrets in my sporting career. I'm glad to say many great players played in other counties, never won anything, so I'm blessed to be born where I am and play with Cork.
Ball dropping in the centre of the field. Runs forward to Jimmy Barry Murphy. Being challenged by Paulie Fitzmaurice, but getting his shot in. No wonder he's a Cork hero.
Ná téigi in éáis a cháirde mar díreach treis na bhógraí, raimí dín aimse láthirach agus an sanneomid mórimach béan le ó nócht a TG Ceir. Treis san deanamid célóra árán ásamar níos leotha aber árán.
I'm Claire, and I've insured my car with